Good day once again, and welcome to another session on School Legislation and Finance, or EDMA 403 of the UL Graduate School Master of Arts and Education program. And we shall be dealing this time with laws pertaining to teachers, professionalization of teaching, and code of ethics. The first part of the discussion on education laws centered on educational system and governance. So let me begin by highlighting the provisions of Presidential Decree number 1006, providing for the professionalization of teachers, regulating their practice in the Philippines and for other purposes. The Presidential Decree 1006 is anchored on the following premises. So as the Constitution provides that all educational institutions shall be under the supervision of and subject to the regulation by the state, and requires that the state shall establish and maintain a complete, adequate, and integrated system of education, which we already have highlighted the last time, relevant to the goals of national development. We even have outlined what the set of national development goals that we are trying to realize as stipulated in the Philippine Constitution and its complementary and other complementary laws, such that in pursuit of the said objectives, the Department of Education and Culture, now the Department of Education, shall adopt ways and means of overseeing all the educational institutions in the country. And considering the supervisory function of the Department of Education, and primarily towards ensuring that the educational institutions inculcate in the student the love of country, teach the duties of citizenship, and develop moral character, personal discipline, and scientific, technological, and vocational efficiency. These objectives shall be implemented such that the institutions rely heavily on the teachers, whose direct and continuing interaction with the young people and the children make them potent forces for the development of proper attitudes among the citizenry. It is for this account that the tremendous growth of the teaching population, comprising in the civil service sector alone, all over the country, consists of a significant figure. And in order to ensure that in the immediacy and urgency of the teacher recruitment, qualitative requirements, and such that these are not overlooked, it has become necessary to regulate the teaching profession. So although teaching requires a number of years of collegiate study, it is the only course that is not yet considered a profession. Well, at the time prior the promulgation of Presidential Decree number 1006, which was penned in September 22, 1976. So it was in 1976 when Presidential Decree 1006 was approved. So in recognition of the vital role of teachers in nation building and as an incentive to raise the morale of teachers, it is imperative that they be considered as professionals and teaching be recognized as profession. So it was under the term of former President Ferdinand E. Marcos, and by his powers vested in the president by the Philippine Constitution have ordered the decree, okay, in the manner as follows. Okay, so the decree, okay, is all about the professionalizing of the professionalization of the teachers. So in more specific terms, the decree, okay, is entitled Decree Professionalizing Teaching. Okay, so declaring that as a matter of policy, that teacher education shall be given priority, concern, and attention by the government, and shall be of the highest quality and is strongly oriented to Philippine conditions and to the needs and aspirations of the Filipino people. Okay, even as it seeks enrichment from adaptable ideas and practices of other people. Okay. So, as construed, okay, in the decree, the following terms are defined in the manner as follows. Number one, teaching. Okay, so teaching refers to the profession primarily concerned with classroom instruction at the elementary and secondary levels. Okay. That is in accordance with the curriculum prescribed by then the National Board of Education. Okay. Now the Board of Education, whether on part-time or full-time basis in the public or private schools. Okay, so it also refers to all persons, okay, engaged in teaching at the elementary and secondary levels, whether on full-time or part-time basis, including guidance counselors, school librarians, industrial arts or vocational teachers, and all persons performing supervisory and or administrative functions in all schools in the aforesaid levels and legally qualified to practice teaching under this decree. Okay, so that will be for the definition of teacher. Okay, so I stand corrected. So the second term is teacher and not teaching. Okay, and then finally we have board. Okay, board refers to the National Board for Teachers duly constituted, okay, under this particular decree. Okay, so thus prescribing for qualification requirements for teacher applicants, okay, and the appointment of examiner, also the discussion of the scope of the examination, the ratings in the exam, report of the result of examination, and the issuance of certificate and registration. Okay. Also, this made mention about reissuance of revoked certificates and replacement of lost certificates. Okay. We also have registration by reciprocity. Okay, so when we talk about reciprocity, okay, so the Civil Service Commission shall, upon approval of the board, effect the registration without examination of a teacher validly registered under the laws of any foreign state or country. So provided, okay, however, that the requirements for registration in the said foreign state or country are substantially the same as those required and contemplated by this decree. Okay, and the laws of such foreign state or country allows citizens of the Philippines, okay, to practice the profession on the same basis and grant the same privileges as the citizens or subjects of such foreign state or country, and provided finally that the applicant shall submit competent, okay, and conclusive documentary evidence confirmed by the Department of Foreign Affairs showing that his country's existing law permits citizens of the Philippines to practice teaching profession under the rules and regulation governing citizens thereof. That is what we mean by reciprocity. Okay. So then we also have, as indicated, prohibition and penal provisions. Then we have repealing clause. Okay. This is an addendum to what I have discussed previously for parts of the laws. Okay. So we have also repealing clause, okay, to indicate what specific laws were superseded, okay? And thus said laws, okay, are repealed. All right, so that will be for the uh, provisions of Presidential Decree number 1006. We also have, by the way, the term separability clause. Okay, so separability meaning this is to distinguish that this law is to be regarded as distinct and separate from other laws, no? And any provision of the decree, okay, in particular, okay, or any portion thereof is declared unconstitutional by a competent court, other provisions shall not be affected thereby. Okay, that is what we mean by separability clause. Right? Then we now proceed to Republic Act number 4670. Republic Act number 4670 was legislated, particularly for Magna Carta for public school teachers. Okay, so Magna Carta. Okay, so the term Magna Carta, okay, which was actually derived from the medieval Latin phrase Magna Carta Libertatum. Okay, so Magna Carta is referring to a charter, and based on its origin, a royal charter. Okay, and this is covering the rights agreed upon, you know, by a particular jurisdiction. Okay, and the term Magna Carta was also, okay, used, okay, in the contemporary time, okay, to refer to specific set of laws pertaining a particular group, like public school teachers, okay, and for specific purposes. Okay, so thus Republic Act number 4670 has the following provisions. We begin with the declaration of policy, okay, determining the coverage. So it is primarily to promote and improve the social and economic status of public school teachers, their living and working conditions, their employment and career prospects, okay, in order that they may compare favorably with existing opportunities in other walks of life. Attract and retain in the teaching profession more people with the proper qualification. I think this is the most important consideration, because in the past decades, okay, we have witnessed the exodus, okay, of Filipino teachers, okay, in foreign countries, okay, seeking greener pastures. And we need to really give, okay, a considerable amount of attention, okay, to the teachers, okay, teaching in the Philippines, so that we'll be able to retain, okay, as stipulated, okay, in Republic Act 4670, the retention, okay, in the teaching profession, okay, more people with proper qualification. Okay, So it being recognized that advance in education depends on the qualification and ability of the teaching staff, and that education is an essential factor in the economic growth of the nation as a productive investment of vital importance. So this particular act, okay, is known as Magna Carta for Public School Teachers, and shall apply to all public school teachers except those in the professorial staff or state colleges and universities. As used in this act, the term teacher shall mean all persons engaged in classroom teaching in any level of instruction on full-time basis, including guidance counselors, school librarians, industrial arts or vocational instructors, and all other persons performing and or administrative functions in all schools, colleges, and universities operated by the government or its political subdivisions, but not to include school nurses, school physicians, school dentists, and other school employees. So this particular Magna Carta or Republic Act prescribes for the requirement and qualification. Okay, we also have the discussion of the conditionalities for probationary period, tenure of office, consent for transfer, transportation expenses, well, except for costs and as otherwise provided. No teacher shall be transferred without his consent from one station to another. Okay, so it is for that reason that there's this set of provisions to cover, okay, such concern or to address such concern. Then we have the Code of Professional Conduct for Teachers, the hours of work and remuneration. Okay, focusing on teaching hours, additional compensation, criteria for salaries, salary scale, equality in salary scales, cost of living allowance or COLA. We have special hardship allowances. Okay, what is this special hardship allowances? Well, in areas which teachers are exposed to hardships, such as difficulty in commuting to the place of work or other hazards peculiar to the place of employment, and as determined by the Secretary of Education, they shall be compensated by special hardship allowances equivalent to at least 25% of their monthly salary. We also have salaries to be paid in legal tender, meaning the legal tender in the Philippines is peso. Okay, so it is okay, or its equivalent in checks or treasury warrants. Okay, so there's also this provision. So provided, however, that such checks or treasury warrants, shall be cashable, in any national, provincial, city, or municipal treasurer's office or any banking institutions operating under the laws of the Republic of the Philippines. Okay, and then we have the prohibition of deduction. So no person shall make any deduction whatsoever, from the salaries of teachers except, okay, under specific authority of law authorizing such deductions, provided, however, that upon written authority executed by the teacher concerned, number one, lawful dues and fees owing to the Philippine Public School Teachers Association, and number two, premiums properly due on insurance policies shall be considered deductible. Okay, so that will be for the provisions on hours of work and remuneration. And then we have health measures and injury benefits. We have medical examination treatment, compensation for injury. So teachers shall be protected against the consequences of employment injuries in accordance with existing laws. The effects of the physical and nervous strain on the teacher's health shall be recognized as a compensation dispensable occupational disease in accordance with existing laws. Okay, we also have leave and retirement benefits. So we have study leave, we have indefinite leave, we have salary increase upon retirement. Okay, so all this under leave and retirement benefits. We also have teachers organization, the freedom to organize. Discrimination against teachers prohibited. Okay, prohibition on discrimination against teachers. Okay, we have the national teachers organizations. Okay, and then we have administration and enforcements. Okay, so that's all for the Magna Carta. Okay, so we also have Republic Act 7836. Okay, an act strengthening the regulation and supervision of this practice of teaching in the Philippines and prescribing a licensure examination for teachers and for other purposes. Okay, and then we have Republic Act number 9293, amending certain sections of Republic Act number 7836, otherwise known as the Philippine Teachers Professionalization Act of 1994. Then we have Republic Act number 8190, an act granting priority to residents of the barangay, municipality, or city where the school is located in the appointment or assignment of classroom public school teachers. And then we have the laws and regulations implementing such laws, okay, the Code of Ethics. So next time, we will talk about the Code of Ethics of professional teachers. Okay, so we have Republic Act number 6713, okay, covering said the Code of Conduct, okay, which has its full title as an act establishing a code of conduct and ethical standards for public officials and employees to uphold the time-honored principle of public office, it being a public trust, okay, granting incentives and rewards for exemplary service, enumerating prohibited acts and transactions, providing penalties for violations thereof, and for other purposes. Okay, so that will be for the set of laws, okay, pertaining to professionalization of teachers. So till next time, have a great day ahead.